What I want to look at just before I finish is these remains. Have this story from Bristol. These human remains that have been found in Bristol. Let's have a look at that. Is it possible that there's something to do with Jack, or maybe they're nothing to do with Jack? Jack O'Sullivan. So for those again of you that watch my channel regularly, you'll know about Jack O'Sullivan. He came out of a party quite a long time ago now, wasn't it? Back in March, I think. Went to a party with his friends, a midweek party. Came out, tried to get a taxi, couldn't get a taxi. Texted his mum to say he was going to try and get a taxi. He didn't need a lift. When his mum got up in the morning, he still hadn't come home. And since then, apart from on the CCTV from that evening, Jack O'Sullivan has never been seen anywhere. So where is he? What happened to him? Did he, as the police interfere? There's a lot of water around there, around Bristol, the River Avon. What was it called? There's a basin, or so. Anyway, there's lots of water around. So the police seem convinced that he fell in the water. His mum has been doing a lot of her own detective work on finding out what happened to her son. She was really disappointed in the police response. She said they missed CCTV that she found. Again, I've done several, every now and again I do an update about Jack O'Sullivan, but unfortunately there's never really been any new news, nothing. Jack's mum, I just think she must be desperate now, and here we are coming up to Christmas and she still doesn't know what has happened to her son, does she? So let me just tell you about these remains that have been found, and then we'll have a look at Jack again. So now, I don't know Bristol. Bristol is in the UK, in the south, more or less, isn't it, of the UK? I don't know if anybody's out there who's watching this video maybe know the area a bit more. Is this nearby where Jack disappeared? So mystery swirls as human remains are found by a horrified dog walker in a field near a school as cops scour the stream for clues. So they've got the underwater search teams out now. Let's have a look at this video.
Mystery surrounds the discovery of human remains by a dog walker close to a quiet cul-de-sac. The tragic find was made near a field near Lyde Green, Bristol, on Tuesday morning. The remains, said to be decomposed and skeletal, were found by a local man walking his dog.
So decomposed and skeletal, she means skeletal, do you think? So decomposed and skeletal. I don't know if Jack disappeared I don't know that this is Jack, and it's perhaps a bit, I don't want to cause any offence to Jack's mum by discussing this. But, it's obviously, if it's in Bristol, and Jack went missing in Bristol in March, I'm no expert on decomposition and that, so I have no idea what sort of state you could expect his body to be in. But it's sort of like, obviously it'd be awful if it was Jack, because he'd be deceased and Jack's mum would know he was never coming back. But then there's another way that you just think, gosh, at least she would know what had happened to him, because I think Jack's mum, I've noticed on her Facebook posts, I think in the beginning she was determined that she was going to find out what had happened to Jack, and then the media, the mainstream media, took sort of the case up a bit, because at first there wasn't really any coverage of Jack's disappearance, and you know the mainstream media literally can't cover every missing person, and sometimes, but then the the people that are helping Kathy with the Facebook, etc., they seem to, there seem to be attractions started to happen, and she's now been on Good Morning Britain and all those sort of usual sort of radio programs, TV programs, Crime Watch, etc. And that's good because it raised awareness, but that also must have been very deflating when even after all that, it hasn't resulted in any more information about what happened to Jack. There's something has happened to Jack. He's somewhere. So anyway, let's see what Amelia's got to say.
Before police rushed to the scene shortly after midday. A police cordon has been put in place since, with divers in wetsuits scouring a stream that runs through the field on Wednesday. An underwater search unit vehicle was also pictured at the scene. Locals have described how their usually quiet street has been non-stop as police units continue to probe the grim find. One said, when the guy went over to see what his dog was doing, it became obvious that the animal had discovered human remains partially buried in the field. It must have been absolutely awful for the man. Police are not telling us anything at the moment, but we're all in a state of high anxiety while we await more news.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the police can't say anything yet, can they? Because they don't know anything. I mean, I don't think they've even released whether it's a man or a woman. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, yeah, they said partially buried, didn't they? So whoever it is, if they were partially buried, that sounds like foul play, doesn't it? Does it, somebody doesn't just bury themselves. So it doesn't sound like... natural death. It's not going to be one of those the police saying, the police say no foul play is suspected. That's what we normally hear, don't we, about everything? And then you always think, is there no foul play or what, But anyway, so partially buried. So that's got to suggest some foul play, hasn't it? Surely. And if it's not Jack O'Sullivan, it's some poor soul. Some family's going to get some answers one way or another. If it's not Jack, it is somebody. So some family somewhere is going to get sad news, but also at least some answers.
Spokesman for Avon and Somerset Police confirmed human remains had been found on Tuesday. A statement added, police and fire crews attended, and further searches will be carried out today. Detectives have not yet been able to identify the remains, and the death is currently being treated as unexplained, pending a forensic post-mortem examination.
Yeah, so will it be Jack? Let's look for another... Let's look for another article. Let's have a look at... So we've had a look at the Sun. Let's have a look what the BBC says. So, suspected human remains have been found in a field on the outskirts of Bristol. Lyde Green. I wonder if I can get... Let's have a look. Lyde Green. If I can get it up on Google Maps, and maybe we can see how far away it is from where Jack went missing. Oop. Now, Jack went missing. Right, let me just show you this map. So, Lyde Green play area. This is where the remains have been found. I'm just trying to work out where that is in context to where Jack went missing, which was, hang on, let me, oh, what was it called? Hot Wells, wasn't it? The party that Jack attended was at Hot Wells. I don't know where that is in context to this. Let's see. I mean, in a way, it doesn't matter because he could have been taken there from anywhere, couldn't he? Really? But where's the sea and that? So he went missing from the centre, didn't he? Right, I'm going to have to do like a Lyde Green to Hot Wells. Ah. Yeah, so it's quite a way. You can see that, can't we? Let me just come back and check. So it's a bit of a distance. Hi, Amethyst. My toe, Heather, was getting better, but then, this morning it was really bad again, but I've soaked it today and he's feeling a little bit better again, but apparently 4 to 6 weeks it could take before it's, all better. But anyway, so yeah, let's have a look at this. So can I make that bigger? So it's 24 minutes away in a car. So Jack went missing around this area, Hot Wells area, town centre, and these human remains have been found quite a little way away in Lyde Green. But if it was foul play, if what happened to Jack, well, it wouldn't matter. They could have dumped these remains anywhere, couldn't they? So, yeah. So I expect Jack's mum is paying a lot of attention to this, and I hope the police are in contact with her, updating her. Now I'm having a look at the Facebook page now, see if they're still mentioning it or not. Now, as far as I know, the Facebook page haven't mentioned this find at all yet. No. Sometimes people are putting, mentioning it on the, in comments. People are mentioning it, but there's no post there about it. So this is Jack. For those of you, if any of you haven't seen, this is Jack O'Sullivan. I think he's 22. Well, he's 23 now. He was 22 when he went missing. And he vanished without a trace in the early hours of March the 2nd, 2024. Now, the police have searched for him in the rivers, but we know how difficult it is, don't we, for bodies don't seem to want to come to light, do they? Can take so long to find bodies, if ever, and it's quite large bodies of water nearby where Jack went missing. I think, you know, it's a shame, but after all this time, it's difficult to imagine a positive outcome for this case. But it's possible. It's always possible that Jack might have been taken somewhere against his will and he might be alive and well. Or he may have even gone off himself. I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. Though it does seem that Jack is not that type of boy, you know. But who knows what type of boy is it that would do that? You just don't know. So, yeah, let's just read this. The disappearance of Jack O'Sullivan in Bristol, a promising law graduate, has cast a long shadow over the city of Bristol. Vanishing without a trace in the early hours of March the 2nd, his case has gripped the nation, sparking countless searches, theories, and an unwavering determination to uncover the truth. And the last confirmed sighting of Jack places him near the Cumberland Basin, a complex network of waterways and roads. And it is, I mean, we followed that video that his mum made of Jack's last known walk. And it's like, you know, your typical sort of town centre, spaghetti roads, but there's also a lot of water around there, waterways. So this location has become a focal point in the investigation as police and volunteers comb the area for any clues that might shed light on his disappearance. Oh, bless. Jack's family have been at the heart of the search, their unwavering hope and resilience, inspiring a community to rally behind them. Their public appeals for information have kept this case in the spotlight, generating widespread support and involvement from the public. The police investigation has been meticulous, involving extensive searches, analysis of CCTV footage, and interviews with countless individuals. And despite these efforts, the mystery surrounding Jack's disappearance remains unsolved. This case has also prompted a wider conversation about missing persons and the challenges faced by families in such situations. Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, your heart breaks for these families that just don't. It's bad enough when, you know, your child maybe has been murdered or, you know, in an accident or, you know, those things are terrible. But to never know, it's got to be the worst thing, hasn't it, for a child to just disappear? And when I say child, I know Jack's an adult, but he's still Kathy's child, Kathy's baby. You know, that never changes. So it's highlighted the importance of community support, the role of technology, and the need for awareness and vigilance. So I'm not going to read the whole thing out because we've looked at the, you know, there's quite, I'll try and remember to put a link to the other videos in. So I've been doing an update on Jack nearly every week. I've been trying to keep, you know, keep talking about it here. Oh, that was his last CCTV thing. Yeah. What is the latest update? There are no updates. Yeah, now Jack's mum was getting very frustrated with the police because they wouldn't give her phone information. There was other information. She said they're not telling her enough, etc. And she wasn't trusting that they were checking CCTV properly and stuff like that. Now, we don't know what the police believe. I mean, for the police, it is an ongoing investigation. Do the police believe that there is foul play? Or do they believe that he's gone into the river? You know, the trouble is when it's an ongoing investigation, we won't find out what the police really think, will we? You know, and even the family don't get to find that out until, you know, something concrete is known. So anyway, I'm going to go back to the Facebook because I want to see. I was just trying to see what Kathy's last post was. Yeah, Catherine O'Sullivan. Yesterday, Kathy posted on her own Facebook, "Where is my son Jack?" Let me just show this, actually. I'm sure she won't mind. "Where is my son Jack? Please help us find him. If you have information as to where Jack might be, please let someone know. Help us bring Jack home. Thank you." Gosh, so very sad, isn't it? You know, oh, just can't imagine it. Just don't want to imagine it. So that's where we are with that. I just thought I'd tell you about that. Yeah, lots of hi Claire. Lots to come out here until we know. We don't even know if it's left Nightbot. Didn't say hello to Nightbot. Hi Nightbot. Until we know more about the remains. So they've not even released if it's a man or a woman. All they've said is that they're skeletal remains or decomposing skeletal remains. So I don't know whether that means that it might be Jack or not. I really don't know. I think there's a possibility it could be Jack. Bless him.